guys, welcome back. Episode 3 of Cave Chat. And today we're going to go through some...
Couple of questions. We've got a couple of questions to answer,
questions that were submitted, which we're really grateful for. So we're going to answer them, and then we're going to go into talking a bit about the money side. And we will be...
What's involved?
We will be honest, and we'll talk about what's involved with sort of that side of it. And anything that we've managed to do for free.
And all the various kit and caboodle we've had to buy along the way.
We'll talk about some of the equipment. We'll talk about some of the software that we pay for. And then we'll talk about maybe a bit about what we get from YouTube, monetary-wise, or the pennies. And we'll talk about some of the sales and how we've sort of turned this collecting in YouTube opening video into
a little side hustle.
A little bit of a side hustle, and who knows, we still have that dream that we mentioned in the first one about
Davenport, Florida,
opening a
card shop
in Kent and opening one in Davenport in Florida. So
I'm not running the Kent one, if that's what you're thinking. No, piss off.
You stay here.
I know what you're like. You've already engineered it, haven't you? You're living in Florida and I'm living in Raynham. Not that there's anything wrong with Raynham, but...
No, you can stay where you are now, but yeah. So, let's get into the questions first. So the first one came in from Nath, and his question was quite specific. It was related to... He's one of our regular watchers, and he knows I'm a big Arsenal fan, James a big Liverpool fan. So he asked, forgetting the value side of it, which player or person, current or past, would be our dream 1-on-1 card to have? And I'll let you go first.
You go first, because yours can be a really quick answer. I already know what yours is. Okay. Shall I guess?
No, because I've been hunting one for a while, so you do know.
I can guess who yours is.
Okay. Well, mine would be Henry.
Oddly enough, I've already got one.
Yeah, but him on his own in an Arsenal kit.
Yeah,
Henry for me is just an absolute legend for Arsenal, and even though when he left the club, and even towards the end of his career out in America,
he came back
mid-season when they were on their summer break or whatever it was called. Came back and played for Arsenal, put the kit back on, and I don't remember hearing a roar bigger than when he came on the pitch for that first game and he scored again. He, for me, is just Mr. Arsenal. And we've had a lot of legends. Ian Wright's one of my biggest favourites as well. Throughout the years, we've had Bergkamp, Vieira. We've had a lot of top tier players, and we still do now. And now we've got more of the youngsters coming through. But an Henry 1-on-1 would be by far my dream card to have in the Arsenal kit. I'd like it almost to be in one of the old Arsenal kits as well.
And for Tops to fork the licence.
It's pay for Dreamcast,
like Sega, the old Sega logo.
It
has to be one of the Dreamcast or Sega shirts, I think.
But that's probably. Ones. And don't get me wrong, one day I will have one. I don't know when. Might take me 20 years to be able to scale up to having one of them, but I will have one day.
They're reasonable price though, Henry. Henry doesn't go for stupid money.
Still talking thousands.
Yeah, you're probably talking hundreds. A significant wedge of cash, but you're not talking. Ronaldo price or CR7 or Messi, etc., etc. For whatever reason, he's just not valued at that same level. So for me, it's slightly more difficult because I have two PCs.
You can only pick one.
Yeah, but I need to explain. I have two. I collect legend autos, what I deem as legends. Others might disagree. And I collect, obviously, Liverpool. So the Liverpool one is... It's probably Liverpool one's really difficult because we've had even more legends than Arsenal over the years, and a lot of the Liverpool legends obviously don't even have cards available, or they're very very rare to be signed. So I'd love an Ian Rush auto in my collection.
You got to pick one.
It's okay. So probably I'd have an Ian Rush at the moment. It'd be an Ian Rush because I don't have one. My Legends PC is even more complicated because some of the players I absolutely love haven't signed anything yet. So I'd love to see Georgie Haji sign something. I'd love to see Dejan Savicevic have signing on something. I think George Weah has just had some cards in one of the new top sets. I think that's the first time he's signed on Milan.
I think that was that finest set.
Yeah, but probably overall, my favourite player ever was Dejan Savicevic. So I'd probably love to have a one-of-one or even just a card of him because he doesn't get included in many of the sets.
Okay.
I was hoping he was going to be in that super high-end Milan set, but he wasn't even in the checklist as a card, which
He's obviously
is weird.
not signed up to them, so
Probably.
Tops can only get signatures for the players that they do the deals with.
But yeah, I'd love to see Savicevic, and like I say, going back to sort of the mid-90s, I mean, there were so many legends, but I'd love to see Haji cards would be great as well, from that sort of golden generation of mid-90s. But yeah, so that's me.
Nice. Okay, so the second question we had come in was from Sam.
Are we ballers? I think was the question.
He's been watching us since some of our Marvel, last year's Marvels, and that is where it
thanks
kicked off
for sticking with us, Sam.
Yeah, appreciate you, buddy. His question was, how do we fund this? And then sort of the caveat is, are you just ballers, or I can't remember what the other part of the statement was he said, but ballers just stuck in my mind because we're not ballers.
We'd love to be ballers.
We'd love to. What me and James are is we've both built careers for the last 20 years working in our relevant sections and areas that we work in. So for the last 20 plus years, we've been working our way up in our careers, and I guess we're both at that sort of senior management level within the industries and businesses we're in. So we earn
reasonable salaries
for what we do, and that gives us a certain amount of spare income to be able to do this. And you know, we'd love to be ballers and just run around flashing the cash and dropping.
Sam, if we were ballers, you'd be seeing us opening never-ending National Treasures and Immaculate and
there'd be a video every day.
Yeah, what's the one with No, it's not Flawless. Eminence. Yeah, we'd have some Eminence.
We'd
that's
have it
for
all.
sure.
Our budgets are very much.
And the background wouldn't be AI.
This would be a real cave.
Yeah, this would be a real cave.
But yeah, we're not quite there yet, you know. And
one day, that's still the dream, like you say, isn't it? But I think the key is that, you know, we have pumped a lot of money into doing this. Initially, like we said, it was just a bit of a hobby, and you know, then we thought, you know, well, why don't we make some YouTube, and why don't we buy some cards and see if we can make profit? And you know, we've opened a lot of boxes of cards, and it's cost us a lot of money, and we're going to go through some of that now. So we're going to give a bit of an overview of some of the things that we can do for free. And some of the stuff we had to buy, some of the stuff we already owned. You know, a lot of the luckily a lot of the computer side of stuff, because I'd already spent a horrendous amount of money on a gaming PC that I very rarely used. So we've got a pretty decent PC that can obviously run the AI backgrounds and can do some of the work.
So anybody thinking about doing this as a hobby, it's fine. Open the occasional box. You know, I think most people could afford that.
You don't have to spend a fortune on technology and equipment either.
No,
you can film things on your phone.
Even if we just talk about the cost of the product. So if you wanted to buy the amount of product that we've been buying and put out the amount of videos we've been buying, you're looking. We've been going less than a year. What are we at? 10 months?
I can't remember. Probably about 10 months.
Not all the videos have come out yet. We've still got more videos to come, so there's product that people haven't seen. But you're looking well over the £40,000 mark for the amount of boxes we've bought, which is terrifying. Really, when you sit back and look at it, it is terrifying, because the average video, if we're opening one box, you average them out about £200 a box, because they're normally just a bit below or just a bit over. You look at some of the bigger boxes we've bought where they're $950 a box or $600 a box, and then it quickly adds up. And then we do the blasters, and we do personal rips as well. And we
go on Whatnot, and
we buy on Whatnot.
Buy into breaks occasionally.
Try and get cards in. So yeah, we have invested or spent a lot of money in this. And then when you look at...
But included in that figure as well probably includes, you know, we've had to buy cameras. So you know, if you watch the main YouTube videos for this one, we're just using that one up there.
The face
but
cam.
for our main video, we've got 3 different cameras now. So we've got the one that looks at us, the one that looks at the cards, then the one that looks at the back wall.
Yeah.
So we've had to buy cameras
when
and
you add up all the
brackets
cameras,
stands.
we're probably in for about £1,000 on cameras.
Yeah, microphones, Stream Deck. Anyone that's going to do lots of YouTube stuff, Stream Deck does make things a bit easier.
Yeah.
One of the most important things is actually one of the free ones with OBS. OBS is a godsend, especially as it's, for whatever reason, free.
Yeah.
Free to use. And OBS is like a dream.
So now we are going into a little bit of software. So OBS is what we use for recording everything through. We're recording on OBS right now, and we can see all our mic, all our controls. It's all put through it. All the Stream Deck's built into it, so we press a button and various little things pop up. Like if you want to hit Dave,
it doesn't work in this particular view.
And we've got different things set up for whatnot. We've got a YouTube one. We've got different ones built into it. But that is predominantly the only free software we use now. We utilise CapCut for all the editing.
But we did use the free version of that. It's only when we started producing a lot more stuff that we had to then upgrade to the paid version. So again, you know, in theory, you could make YouTube videos with your iPhone, I guess.
Yeah. A
laptop, OBS, and CapCut, and it not cost you anything. You don't have to invest a fortune.
No.
In the technology side.
That's what I mean. The biggest cost and the biggest thing that we have to spend money on is product.
Yeah. Is to keep making stuff to make the videos about.
And if you don't get it when it first comes out, then you're paying the premium from the resellers, so you're paying that extra 20% to 30%, and if not more, markup on them. And
you're probably not getting the views that you would get.
Yeah.
Because again, what we found is that
we did mention this in the second.
What the views?
You got to drop it straight away. As soon
drop
as
it while it's hot.
So yeah, and we've been expanding. So, you know, who did we use? Third Down. We got our mat from our branded mat and our backboard.
Yeah.
Now all the designs are free. We created all these designs, all the logos. We came up with all the ideas between the two of us. We used AI and the free version of Canva to start with, and we do now have the paid version of Canva because obviously it gives you a bit more creativity and you can do more in it. So that's another software we pay for. So we pay for Canva Pro, and
we do all the thumbnails, all of the some of the animations and some of the things that pop up on screen.
You can build green screens in Canva. It's really quite handy, and we pay for the premium version of CapCut as well.
Yeah.
The rest of the software, I've used Copilot a lot. Microsoft's AI. It's great to utilise, and we built.
Well, our backdrop is an AI one.
Yeah.
I think you tell it roughly what you want, and it'll spit out loads of rubbish options and a few good ones.
And then you tweak them. Now, to be fair, you do have to have a really good computer or some sort of NVIDIA, I can't remember what it is, some sort of NVIDIA
So
chip
we use NVIDIA Broadcast
to be able to have these high-quality AI backgrounds.
Because if you watch some of the older ones, we used to have the physical screen that we pulled up. We
started off with a green screen that we'd pull up and then it would just superimpose it. But you'd notice that
you could do that in OBS, couldn't you?
As what you see now. It's a lot cleaner now. I do still fade in and out a little bit. We haven't quite worked out why. But 90% of it we are 90% of it we are stable on here, and we managed to design something with a few tweaks of just asking it to change bits, and you see what you see now. And yeah, it's funny because we paid a lot of money, we spent a hell of a lot of money. Recouping money, we're nowhere near that.
It's going to be a while.
We might have got back 20% of that through card sales, and that's through selling them on whatnot, selling them on eBay.
Primarily eBay.
Yeah.
We've now though reached a point where we're now a business seller on eBay.
We've just opened the store, which again is another cost.
Which means we've now got a monthly subscription fee with eBay, and all of the fees are now passed over to us rather than the buyer, because we're no longer private sellers. And obviously there's fees for selling on Whatnot.
We obviously paid for a website.
Website. We pay that annually.
So there's costs associated to that, and we've recently started utilising the store on Whatnot. So our new bear packs
on the website, you mean?
On the website, so the new bear packs, which we've just launched at the lowest level currently, they're available on the website. But again, we pay fees every time somebody buys through there. And it's funny because there's loads of fees hidden within YouTube as well. So we achieved our monetization on YouTube quite quickly. It took us about 7-8 months. Yeah,
the hours is the hardest part.
Yeah,
the subscribers was remarkably quick. We had a massive flurry at the beginning of subscribers. And then the hours is really hard to achieve.
And we achieved that, and we regularly get, I think on average, we're over 1,000 hours every 28 days now. And we're getting maybe 50 to 60 new subscribers each month as well.
And we earn about
£60
on average, no, less than that, probably £40 to £50, I think, on average a month at the moment. Obviously, as the channel grows, and this is what I keep telling Matt, we're still a very young channel, and some of the card related channels that have been going for years and years and years, like Breakfast, and some of the others, I can't remember their names now, but some of those guys, quite open, they've been going 6-7 years. So they've built that audience over a significant amount of time.
Yeah, and we also...
Sorry, I became momentarily possessed.
I think when you look at what we open as well, we open the higher end stuff, not high end, but
the hobby stuff.
We open the hobby stuff.
Yeah, we steer clear of match attacks.
I don't think we get a lot of kids watch our stuff. There's a lot of streamers out there or YouTubers who open a lot of the match attacks or those sort of the entry level products, which are £30 for a hobby box or £40 for a hobby box, and you're getting hundreds of cards, and that's great because the kids love it and the kids watch those programs as well. But me and James, we did try opening some of that stuff, and we had no passion for it. We weren't that interested in it. We did it because we thought, it might bring in a new audience. But
ultimately, we're a couple of grumpy old men. Kids aren't necessarily going to want to watch us open it. They're going to watch one of those YouTubers that squeals and screams and jumps around a lot.
And that's not us. We're a bit more.
We're old.
We're
mature.
old. We like to do what we do.
Yeah.
And if people don't like it, we don't really care. So it's a bit strange. So we've grown slower than maybe some of these more animated people might grow.
Well, no, again, though, I think it's all time. I bet even if you look at some of those people that have got hundreds of thousands and are literally sponsored by YouTube and sponsored by Whatnot when they do videos, I bet if you go back to their beginning, obviously their viewer numbers are going to be big because they've had videos up for 5-6 years. But
true.
When those videos were first put out, you'll probably find they were getting 50, 60, 70, 100. We're now at a point, like I say, 10 months in, we're at a stage where we pretty much regularly get 200 to 300, I'd say, at the low end.
Yeah. And
more on the if we drop things early, if it's a particularly popular product like the Marvel stuff or new Chrome releases, we get over 1,000.
Yeah.
No, that's not bad for a couple of guys that literally until less than a year ago didn't even know really anything about sports cards, what they were or where to buy them or anything.
True. James has to remind me a lot because I get sort of like...
Matt expects everything to happen tomorrow.
It's just crap. Why aren't we growing? And I get quite frustrated with it because
nothing happens overnight.
We're not sponsored with anybody. We don't get any free stuff.
We did one sponsored video where the good folks at Super Breaks sent us a couple of boxes for Piece of the Past.
That's our only sponsored video ever. Everything else we've bought. We have been able to negotiate sort of like 5 to 10% off sometimes when we've been buying product.
I don't think that's anything that anybody else wouldn't be able to get.
Well, I think some of the other streamers I see, they're going to Tops events, they're opening.
No, that's what I mean. Where we've managed to get 5 or 10% discount off someone.
Yeah, anybody else could get that.
Anybody watching this video could say, "Can you give me some discount on that?"
So we don't get any.
We literally don't get anything. We don't get any invites to any
Tops events or Panini. We don't get any promotional gear.
Again, hopefully that might come.
We don't get anything from Whatnot. We just sell. We pay the same fees as everybody else. We get paid out in the same time.
We get paid 3 weeks later, same as everyone else.
Same on eBay. We're not sponsored by eBay. We're not part of their members club. We pay the same as everybody else does. So. It's all been out of our own pocket. Me and James have just been sort of 50-50 divvy it up. Right, I'll buy this stuff
60-40.
Yeah, I have. Yeah, that's fair.
But you tell me that it's 60-40 a lot.
Yeah.
A lot.
But it is a case of,
And we're at a stage now where we're now thinking longevity-wise.
Keep it going.
It's not sustainable to be buying... what were we talking? Probably £500 worth of stuff a week we were probably opening or getting through.
Yeah.
So we've now reached a point where I think we're both, fairly sensible, and we've said, look, we've now got to start to sell some stuff. So hence why we've started the bear packs, and we're going to do some higher end repacks as well, which will be on the website, and we'll probably do some teasers on here. We're going to start attending some of the card shows. We got our first card show booked for August of this year. We've got the Kent card show.
Next year we'll be at more. I do plan on doing the London card show. We wanted to do the Kent one as our first one. We've been buying all. Again, that's another cost. The card show, we've had to.
Card show grading is a massive.
Grading's
cost
a big
as well.
cost, and you lost stock. That is just dead stock whilst that process takes place is unbelievable. Like our last PSA submission was in February, and we're still waiting for it back. It really puts you off. We've got a load of nice cards that we could send off to PSA, but again, we're in the position where we've got to try and get stuff, sell it.
I was going to say
reinvest.
The risk for a lot of people is if they grade it, will it come back at a low grade and be worth less than it is raw?
Yeah.
For us, the risk is more about if we grade it, is it going to take 6 months to come back?
It's dead money for us, and we need that money turnaround.
The way sports cards work, and I mean, we've seen it with your Mao. At this moment in time, as we're filming this, people might watch this in 2 years' time, and it might be...
Yeah, true.
But your Mao's prices have gone absolutely ridiculous on his rookie cards. Now, we could send a load of rookie cards, and we've got one in particular that's a massive rookie card.
Yeah.
We could send that off to PSA, and it could come back as a 10, and it could double its value. But in 6 months, he might have had a career-ending injury, or I hope he doesn't, obviously, but anything can happen in that interim that means he just becomes another overhyped rookie in the same way that Ansu Fati was, in the same way that Gavi and Pedri were.
It's just a turnaround for me. It's dead money for us whilst you're waiting for 6 months, and it's a luxury that we can't afford at the moment. We don't have a big fat bank balance where we can send.
We've put in pretty much as we can out of our own funds, I think.
Yeah, we still top it up a little bit each month,
but I think we've now got to a point where we've got to be. Things have to start paying their own way. So the £50-60 that if we're lucky we get from YouTube every month, that actually goes towards paying for maybe Canva and
it pays for the software stuff.
The card sales will hopefully be sufficient to support us being able to buy new product.
Yeah.
And again, it's a cyclical process, isn't it? You want to be opening boxes, and realistically when you're opening wax, there's a good chance it's not money back.
Yeah, 100%.
But you need to be hoping that you're going to make at least 60 to 70% money back.
Yeah.
And then you'll have that chance of opening that box where you get a monster card.
Opening wax, and we know this, but we still do it. Opening wax is not a sensible business. You're never going to make your money out of opening wax.
Not if you're not for when it comes to, and that's why everyone is breaking wax rather than opening it. Some of the big breakers on Whatnot, they have hundreds of boxes of products. They don't open any of them. Well, they might open one for themselves, I guess.
But the rest, it's all sell it. Sell. And that's how they make their money and do their income. And we do rip stuff because we do it for the video, and we like to chase some of those big
enjoy it as well, don't we?
If you go into those breaks, you can't afford to buy the mouse spot because it'll be like £1,000 for your mouse spot. Whereas you open some boxes yourself, you get the chance of getting those cards. So that's why we still like to do it.
Yeah, I'd much rather open a personal box,
and we want to do
than
stuff,
than enter like 3 or 4 breaks for the same price.
We've tried to do it as a community, so we get people to join us on YouTube and enjoy our content and watch our breaks. And then maybe they see cards that they want to purchase and they want to join in with the fun of the breaks we're doing, which we believe are really good value for money, where everybody's guaranteed stuff. And we try to do it as a life cycle of that. So it's more of a community of us helping you helping us, and everybody gets what they want out of it and what they need. But it is fun. We love.
Oh yeah, don't get me wrong.
It
might sound like it's doom and gloom, and we've spent all our money, but we're not going to stop.
And we haven't spent all our money. We're all right.
I have.
Yeah, you have.
You've not spent half of yours yet.
But we're okay at the moment.
You should buy some more boxes right now because I want to open something.
We've got no plans on stopping anytime soon. We're currently adding to what we're going to be doing in the future.
Yeah, we're creating more work for ourselves rather than scaling it back, which is probably a good place to stop actually, because I think...
How long have we got?
About 27 minutes. But I think on the next video, I think what might be a good little topic of discussion is the fact that we have both got full-time jobs and the juggling of everything around
brutal.
that. Because it is hard work. So let's keep that for the next video. And I want to end with my question of the week. So what I liked about the last one is the question of the week actually went not just to me and you, but to the chat as well. Yeah. And I haven't actually given any thought to what my question of the week is going to be.
Okay.
So
am I going to have to cut out some dead time here?
Possibly, yeah. Or give me some ideas.
Well, no, it's your question of the
week. Yeah, I know, but I didn't think of anything. Okay, I've got something. If Topps, Panini, or anybody else were to create any trading card set of anything, what would you like it to be?
Transformers.
Cartoons? Live action?
I don't get me wrong, cartoons were awesome, but I can't really remember them. It's that long ago. I really like all the movies. I think there's many characters.
You'd be in for a Transformers trading card.
So many characters in that
autographs.
Set. It'd be amazing. The voice actors alone, you could get some of the actors thrown in there, but Transformers, there probably is some sort of trading card set out there. We don't see half the sets because we don't look for them. But 100% Transformers for me, and I still think it's a big enough market to warrant one of the big brands picking it up because there's so much interest in it. Look at what Marvel's done. Transformers is pretty much another theme along the line of Marvel, just with robots. They all have different changing powers, like Marvel have all different superheroes.
That'd be pretty cool.
I think that'd be awesome for me. A 1-on-1 Optimus Prime or Bumblebee.
Signed by... trying to think of it, I want to say Peter Mullin. I might be wrong though. People can correct me in the chat, but the guy that did the Optimus Prime voice, very distinctive voice.
It's a legend. But okay, so what would yours be then?
Mine, I would really love.
The fact you started laughing when you said it.
Well, I had two, and then I thought, no, one of them I probably can't say because people will think I'm some sort of pervert. Yeah. So one of them that popped into my head, I will mention it, would be a classic supermodels trading card set.
No, okay.
Where you can get like a 1-on-1 Claudia Schiffer autograph. That'd be pretty cool. But anyway, I then decided I wouldn't say that one.
You've just said
mine would be horror movies. So like I love my classic horrors. I love the Friday the 13th, the Nightmare on Elm Street, Halloween's, Scream, all of those classic horror movie icons. So to have like autograph cards from Robert Englund,
and some of those random
leaf
they do throw in some weird.
They do. I can't remember what it's called. Leaf Century. They do have like random movie stars in there, so you can probably
Jamie Lee Curtis.
Yeah, you can probably get.
That.
But to have proper themed, themed with Halloween and themed with Nightmare on Elm Street.
When you look across the whole movie genre, like if Paramount could do a set, Warner Bros could do a set. They did the Harry Potter ones, and they went down really well. People buy all that.
They were cracker wow, weren't they? They weren't even Tops or Panini.
Depends on who buys the license,
But that's what I mean. Like, I think there's a James Bond set, but again, I don't think it's by one of the big. I mean, it might be by Leaf or Metal or somebody like that, but for me, Tops and Panini are kind of the top two. Panini don't really venture outside of sports, though.
No.
But Tops, obviously, with the Marvel, with the Disney.
Tops have got V-Friends now as well, which is that sort of
weird Pokemon type thing.
Yeah, a brand new, like they've been around for years.
I'd love to see Tops Chrome horror movies or something like that. That would be amazing.
I'll tell you what, we go to a lot of the collectible shops when we're over in America as well, where you get all the pops, and my daughter's into those Firefly or lounge fly bags, and you can get them themed on everything, and they're big in America. And they'd sell all those sort of cards in those sort of places.
Oh, 100%.
And they'd do really well.
100%.
If I had any money left, or any idea how to do it, I'd be trying to buy the rights up myself.
I was going to say, that's always going to be the difficulty with it being a genre-themed thing, is that all of those characters will have, like, Freddy Krueger will be owned by New Line, I think.
Yeah, you'd have to do it by movie
Friday
studio.
the 13th is owned by Paramount.
You'd have to
so you'd never be able to create, like, the master set that's in my mind. Transformers is Hasbro. Hasbro own it all.
So it's like Barbie, isn't it? Is that Barbie? Is Hasbro Barbie?
G.I. Joe, I know that. I think they own, but yeah, probably.
But I'm sure there probably has been Transformer sets out there, but yeah.
A proper Tops Chrome Transformers.
That'd be awesome. That would be amazing.
Chuck it in the comments, guys. Any questions you've got, and what sets would you love to just imagine into existence? So hopefully someone else also wants the supermodels of the 90s.
Because saying that, there was also a Game of Thrones one bounding around.
Yeah, but again, I don't think they were.
They were like Cackwell or something.
Yeah, I think Leaf do a lot of them, and I think you can get really nice cards, but I think it's that Tops Chrome. Yeah. Everybody loves Tops Chrome. It doesn't matter which sport it is. Tops Chrome is the
god tier.
Yeah, exactly. And we used to be big Panini fans, and I still like the Select. I like the Parallels, but I think just for the pure simplicity of design, Tops Chrome is
they nailed it on that. Yeah,
is the one.
Yeah, I'd have to agree.
So,
and the Sapphire.
Well, it's the same thing, isn't it? It's just a variation. But anyway, hope you guys enjoyed that, and hope it's little bit of information, and next one I think we'll touch on the balancing of having a full-time busy job and housework and all that other day-to-day rubbish.
Any questions on anything we talked about though? So if you want to know any more about the softwares, the equipment, let us know. We can share all that. We can share the types of the brands and makes of the cameras we use, the microphone.
Pretty much everything we've got here is Amazon. So
all source.
So if anyone is planning on buying a load of stuff, let us know, because we can give you some Amazon affiliate links as well that will put some pennies in the channel's pocket. So let us know, guys. But as always, it's been a pleasure. Look after yourselves, and we'll catch you on the next one.
Cheers, everyone. Bye.